It's that time of year again. I'm traveling back to southwest Texas to the JB Renegade Ranch, where I'll be hunting once again for my food. Not sure what it'll be this time around. I'm hoping for a whitetail or wild boar or perhaps even an axis deer. But it doesn't really matter what I get. It's more important that I just stock the freezer, make sure I've got plenty of meat to last for the remainder of the year. Now for me, you guys know that I hunt and fish for a living. It's not always been the easiest way to make a living, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You see, for me, it's not about the kill. It's about the thrill of the chase. Once again, I found myself at the JB Renegade Ranch, and nightfall was quickly approaching. The last time I was here at the JB Renegade Ranch, I was hunting wild boar at night, and I ended up shooting a big female. But I really was after the boss, her mate, also known as El Chicharron. I've been hunting him for 7 years, and he has evaded me every single time. It's almost like he has a sixth sense. But I'm hopeful this evening that he will make an appearance, and I will have a better result. There's never any guarantees you're going to see your target species here at this ranch because it's 100% free range, low fence. But you just never know. That is one very, very lucky hog. The boss evaded me again. I don't know how many times I've had opportunity to take him, and he did it to me again tonight. I was being super, super quiet. I've got the gun up. I pulled the hammer back. I put it down on the blind, And the only thing I can think of is he could hear me breathing. I don't know what caused it, but all of a sudden he just jumped up and bolted and left nothing but dust there before I could squeeze the trigger. So the boss man, known as El Chicharron, lives to fight another day. Unbelievable, man. Needless to say, it was a long walk back to the truck. All right, I just left the JB Renegade Ranch here in Southwest Texas, and now I'm headed down to Laredo to meet up with some old friends of mine. And we're going to go out to another ranch, a very prestigious hunting ranch, and go on another adventure. So hopefully we can get something there. All right, wish me luck. Upon arrival, we wasted no time. We gathered our gear and our guns and headed out for the hunt. All right, it's showtime. Here in South Texas. We're waiting on a few really nice management bucks to make an appearance. Hopefully one shows up. If we don't see one tonight, we'll be back at it in the morning. Wish me luck. So far we got just a little spike buck over here to the left. We had a small 3-pointer over here on the right. And Audad came out about 200 yards down the sendero, but it was too far for me to even attempt to make a shot, so we're just gonna wait for something else. At this time, we had 3 does working their way in from the west, and we spotted a really nice buck off to the east. Nice buck.
Yeah.
But he's too young, right?
Yeah, it's probably 4.5 or so. Yeah, he's a good deer, 10-pointer. Wait till that 8-pointer steps out, he dwarfs him.
Okay.
Body-wise, anyway.
The 8-pointer that we were looking for did not make an appearance, so now it was time to head back to camp.
Ooh, that's a good shot. Everyone loves fried deer meat.
Hispanic Latin trick is get a cebolla and you just rub it down. It's got a natural cleaning property because onions have a tremendous amount of liquid in them, and it just gets a really nice non-stick surface to put this meat down. Got these sizzling fajitas down, and please everyone here.
Early that morning, Quentin had shot a really nice whitetail buck, and now it was time to reap the rewards.
Wow. Fresh deer heart. Get you the good vitamins.
This morning too.
Fresh.
After dinner and a couple of glasses of my favorite wine, it was time to get some rest. The following morning, we were headed back out for the hunt. Now, there's nothing quite like a South Texas sunrise. If you've ever experienced it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Shortly after sunrise, we spotted the target buck. It's almost like this buck shook his head no in defiance. This is not going to happen today. And he began to make his retreat. I hope he's down. It's a really big buck. After an hour-long search, we determined that the white-tailed buck I shot at was not fatally hit. I needed to accept that fact, and it was now time to give up the chase. Unfortunately for me, this one might not end up the way we wanted to. The trials and tribulations of real hunting, people. This sometimes happens. Not every shot is successful. Not every hunt is successful. Not every outcome is the way we want it. So we're going to keep looking here as long as we can, but unfortunately, I think this is where this segment stops. Needless to say, it was a very long ride back to camp. All right, I'm just now leaving Laredo, Texas, and I'm on my way back up north, but I'm going to stop off at another ranch up here, a 2,000-acre private hunting ranch that actually hasn't been hunted for 25 years. Well, I take that back. I actually hunted it a few years back with a friend of mine, and we ended up calling in a nice Rio Grande turkey and then dressed it out and had an old Western-style cookout there in the evening. But that's the only hunt that's been conducted on this ranch for 25 years. There's no blinds, there's no feeders, just ranch. So I'm gonna go out there and get in the brush and just kind of do an old school hunt, possibly get something, a hog or a whitetail or something this evening. Just might put out a little bait as well. So hopefully we'll get a better outcome this time around. bird. Man, they beat him up though. Well, folks, here he is. Looks like a beautiful Rio Grande turkey. I wasn't expecting to shoot him this morning. I actually came in to whitetail hunt, but I heard some hens and I heard this tom gobble this morning while they were on the roost. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to cut a little bit and see if I can get one to answer me. And sure enough, he answered right away, super aggressive. So I thought, you never know, he might come in. Well, I wasn't expecting 6 or 7 to come in at one time, okay? So that was kind of a surprise to me because they came in 10 yards from my blind. But I just kind of stayed still and didn't move much, and they went off to the side over here, and I was able to get my gun up, and I chose to shoot the dominant bird, the one that was bullying everybody else around. I'm going to shoot that one. Well, ironically, he's not the one with the longest beard. There were some other ones there that had beards long enough they were dragging the ground almost, you know, like big giant paintbrushes. But he was still the dominant bird. Very happy with him. I had to rush over here because I can hear him thumping him over here. Look at all the feathers on the ground, right? So they were beating him up while he was on the ground. So I didn't want him to damage the fan and all that, so I hurried over here as quickly as I could. But anyway, it looks like my Christmas turkey's come a little early this year. I'm super excited. Can't wait to cook him up. You're watching Thrill of the Chase. I'm Eddie Brochin. We will see you next time. All right, folks, we're back in one of my favorite kitchens here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're going to make a white bean wild turkey breast chili today for lunch. Now, we've already started with browning up some ground venison that I harvested just a couple weeks ago. And I put in a little bit of garlic and a little bit of onions there to give it some flavor. And we're just kind of browning that up in the skillet right now. As you can see here, it's starting to brown very nicely. You want to get it mixed up good so you don't burn your garlic and your onions. Go ahead and get it nice down there a little bit like that. Okay, good. And we're also cooking this in beef tallow. The healthy way to go, folks, okay? Now that the ground venison is browned up, we're going to add a little bit of Worcestershire. Let that cook down. Some French sea salt. Now, careful with this because it's very potent. You can always add more later if you want. All right, we're going to go ahead and heat up my wok. The next step in the process here is to sear up the turkey breast. Now we're going to do the turkey breast a little bit different. We're going to sear it up, same tallow that we used earlier today, but we're going to keep it separate and add it as a topping to the chili. I don't want to mix it in. So let's go ahead.
Why don't you want to mix it in?
Well, because I think it'll have a diversity of flavors if you don't mix it all in. We'll leave the turkey on top with a little scoop of sour cream off to the side, throw the chives and the diced cilantro as an after effect. Does that make sense? Now we'll go ahead and take this browned venison. Let's drop it into the broth, since that's going to be our main base right there, ground venison. Let's go ahead and add our beans as well. We got some beautiful white beans here that we're going to go ahead and add into that now. Get all that mixed up in there. And we're going to turn it up a little bit too so we can get it to start to boil there a little bit for us. Okay, good. Right there. All right, now let's get some more tallow into the wok. Nice, now that it's warm. Get just a little bit more. Make sure it doesn't stick. That ought to be plenty. Turn that down now. All right, here we go. Wild turkey breast, folks. Into the wok. It's starting to brown up really nicely now. Take a look at that. All right, folks. Everything's about ready. Now, before we do anything, we got to spice up the broth just a little bit. And what we're going to use today is a pepper blend by a good friend of mine named Steve Butler. He grows all of his ingredients, everything he grows out of his garden down there in Kentucky. And he makes some, grows some incredible garlic, but he also puts together this little pepper powder for me, okay? I don't know what the ingredients are, but all I know is it's delicious, but it's also very spicy, so don't add too much of it. I'm not sure if he'd be willing to sell all this stuff, but he does definitely provide it to his friends and family. I wish he would sell it, but it's incredible, okay? So this is his pepper sauce, but I just come over to the broth and I'm just gonna sprinkle in a little bit. Trust me, that's enough right there. Doesn't get any better than this, folks. White bean chili with wild turkey breast and a little side of jalapeno infused cornbread. As good as it gets. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Incredible.
And your German short-haired pointer is saying hi.
That's okay. She loves me. She wants a piece. Today's program has been brought to you by Blood of the Vines, Spain's most luxurious wines. Brochin Expeditions, your next adventure starts here. The Arena Gun Club in Laredo, Texas. Kirkpatrick Guns and Ammo, everything you need for guns, gear, and ammunition. Kirkpatrick Leather Company, the highest quality since 1950. And by Guntology, makers of the Cryon Suppression Shield. This has been a Renegade TV Network